rock and roll. All right, party time.
Godzilla says that I should learn to fight my own battles. No.
Hello, cadets, and welcome to another episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. This is episode 109. We are going to talk about a training film called iMadMan. And we're very lucky to have one of the stars who are in that actual training film with us today. But first, let me bring up my able-bodied assistant, Major Hazzard.
Why, thank you. You know, I know why you're having these problems talking, because we're both so excited. You know, we're fangirling and fanboying out. We got an actual movie star here from one of the training films. I can't even believe it. She's the, you know, I'm this huge.
We've done that before.
I don't even know what to say right now. I don't even know what to say. I'm spitting my coffee all over the place. I'm stumbling over myself. I almost fell down the stairs earlier. It's crazy. It's bananas up in here.
I'm telling you, we're connected. We know people. So we're lucky enough to get one of the people that can tell us a little bit about what went on behind the scenes of this training film.
Well, it's very important because Stephanie Hodge, you know, she's this movie star and all this, and she's coming in because she believes in also what we're doing here. We're combating the big monsters. We're keeping the public safe. She's doing her part, you know, in a much bigger way than most people.
She's doing her part? What?
She's doing her part. She's doing her part. There's an R in there somewhere.
Well, you know, whatever you got to do to get ready for the show, I guess. You know.
I told you I'm having trouble speaking. I'm overclamped right now.
Okay. Oh, you meant part. She's doing her part.
Yeah, of course. You've been talking to me for years, General. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Here's the thing. We got to shut up here because we got Stephanie Hodge backstage, and the cadets don't want to hear nothing from us. They're already done with us.
You got that right. She's in the green room. Yes, we can't keep her waiting any longer. Let's go ahead and bring up Ms. Stephanie Hodge.
Hello.
Hello there. I salute you. Yeah, you've done quite a bit of TV and movies, as well as being a stand-up comedian.
Yes, true. All that's very true.
This must have been a lot of fun for you.
This was great. I always wanted to be in a horror movie. I still want to be in horror movies. I want to do horror movies. Okay. And this was the very first one I ever got to do. So
you've done a couple, actually. You've done a couple, actually.
I've done two.
Yeah, you've done Evolution was the other one.
Yes.
David Duchovny.
David Duchovny. Yes, what an interesting cat he is.
What an interesting cat, man.
You got to talk about David for a minute. You got to scoop on David. I mean, he's so adorable, and he's just absolutely phenomenally adorable. Did you get to like touch him or smell him or anything like that? What did he smell like?
I smelled him. I hugged him.
Yeah, you need to be careful with that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We walked off set for that.
Did he smell like David Duchovny's supposed to smell? I mean, was it a David he smelled?
Yes, he did.
Oh my gosh!
So David Duchovny. He's they broke the mold.
Oh my gosh! I mean,
what does a David Duchovny smell like?
Kind of like
I could tell.
Like
leather
and
leather and horses.
There you go. He's a horse guy.
Is he? I have no idea.
Maybe he just stepped into something on the way to set.
That's the one thing I forgot to ask him. Do you like horses?
You smell like horses.
Very nice guy. He was really nice. He was a very nice man.
All right. Well, thank you, Hazzard, for taking us down that road.
I could take him in a fight, though.
And I have no doubt about that at all. I have no doubt about that at all. Okay, so this training film is called iMadMan. It's directed by a guy named Tibor. Help me out here.
Takis.
Takis. It's spelled T-A-K-A-C-K.
Takakis.
Like Michael Dukakis. Takakis. All right. Well, all righty then. Very good.
Oh.
So we start out with a nice pan into a little building and then into a little window and nice little Hitchcockian thing, and it's actually a scene being played out. There's this doctor, Dr. Alan Kessler. He looks nice and creepy, and he's wearing a beret. That's why I'm wearing this beret, by the way. I'm wearing a black beret. This is actually a gift to me by a guy from the Airborne Rangers. But he wears his beret like a little sissy girl.
He does. He needs to paint
like a little Girl
pair
Scout.
Of fluffy socks.
So yeah, that set me off a little bit right out of the gate. So, but his makeup looks kind of scary and creepy. So okay, he's got a nice creepy kind of vibe going there. So he's walking out of it looks like a hotel lobby. He's got a room upstairs, and there's the typical nosy front deskman. And he tells his boss, and his boss is, that Dr. Kessler. And he decides to go upstairs and check out Kessler's room because they think there's an animal in there. A neighbor complained. And there's the neighbor complaining on the phone. He looks kind of like Clint Howard.
He
does, doesn't he?
He does.
Clint Howard
That was mentioned
ice cream man in one of these slasher films. I can't remember what it was. We'll have to get that one on. Maybe we can get Clint to come on. That would be great.
Ooh, he's a nice man. I met him once.
Have you?
Yeah, a long
What's he
time.
like?
He was just a nice guy.
You see, now Ronnie Howard, his brother, was playing Opie back in the day on the Andy Griffith Show, and Clint Howard was it Gentle Ben?
Yes,
he was on that show as the kid. He was the cute kid on Gentle Ben. And then they grew up, and it was like the Bridges brothers. One was like, okay, he's the real cute one. The other one was like, okay, that's the brother. So I'm going to get so much trouble for this show. You're bringing out the worst in me, Stephanie.
I do that. It's just purely by accident.
So the manager, and this guy is a very snippy manager. I'm going to go up to his room.
He's asking for trouble with that attitude. You ask me, he's asking for trouble.
Just the bow tie alone. So he goes inside.
Kill me. It says, kill me. I'm wearing a bow tie.
Kill me. I'm wearing a Pee Wee Herman tie. Kill me. He finds all kinds of nasty stuff in Dr. Kessler evidently likes Chinese food. He likes to leave the boxes out, kind of like I do, and roaches, and he's kind of nasty.
Connection, because later his victim, she cleans up Chinese food containers as well.
I noticed that. I caught that.
I don't know what that means.
I don't think had roaches in them though.
No, and they were probably the same ones from Props, but that's beside the point.
Looked like they ordered from the same takeout place, but
yeah.
So he inadvertently opens up this one of those big travel cases, one of those big huge cases, and living inside that is not a cat,
it's not a baby,
a demon from another dimension. So he lets it go. The demon gets him. He kills him. And that's where we find out that it's a girl reading a story about this guy going up to the room and getting killed by the demon. And
what is it?
Oh, damn it. I forgot to write down the name of the author.
I know what it is.
You wouldn't know that name by any chance, would you?
Malcolm Brand.
Malcolm Brand. There we go. Malcolm Brand. I'm writing that down now so I can keep referring back to it. Yes, Malcolm Brand has written these books, these really creepy, weird books. And this is the first one that this girl, and there's the demon again. The first one that this girl picks up and is getting into, and she's really into this book. So there she is. And that's Virginia, played by Jenny Wright. And she does a solid job in this movie. She does a very good job in this movie. And she's not bad to look at either.
No, it does not hurt looking at her at all. Not at all a painful experience.
You are quite attractive in this, by the way, as a brunette.
Why, thank you. And that hair.
Brunette was a good look for you. I was very surprised when I first saw you in this. I was like, hey, I like it.
That's what I really am.
There you go.
But figure this out. Every time I get a job, they want to make me blonde. So I just
there you go, au naturel. So there it is, madness and something.
Yeah.
More madness, more sin, or something like that. So this
much
is the
of madness. One. No, more of sin. That's it. Much of madness.
Much of madness, more of sin. Okay, there we go. So kind of a silly title for the book, actually, but
But I love the book covers. They were great book covers.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know who made those?
I have no idea.
No idea. Okay, well, yeah.
No idea. If I ever
questions in the hopes that we might get a little nugget of something for the fans, you know. They have some solid lingerie work in the beginning of this movie.
Very much so. Yeah. Very much so. You know she's not a natural blonde in that either, so that's important.
Well, I can see fair geeks getting into that.
It's important to pay attention to all the little details.
So last week we did Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Ooh.
And that was a serious scream queen who was in that. Let me go back to my notes for that. Yeah, Carolyn Williams. What a screamer that girl is. She is seriously a scream queen. And she rocks some Daisy Dukes about halfway through that movie. Well, all the way through that movie.
Well, yeah.
That was back in the 80s, so the Daisy Dukes were really big back then. And
it was horror, the male gaze, and a lot of blood. That's all horror was.
That's what it was. You pegged it. That's what the geek boys want.
God bless them.
That's where the money was coming from.
What this is? I just want to read this. Cadet Farwell. She said, "Oh my God, Stephanie fits in right around here. She's hilarious. Love it." That's what I'm talking about. Doesn't she feel like someone we all want to just be around all the time? She's incredible. That's what I keep telling everybody. I keep talking about Stephanie. She's absolutely amazing.
You're so nice to me.
No,
you something.
I can't believe. It'll be a Ferrari. That's all I'll take, though. Nothing more than a Ferrari. Just one. Okay.
I know for a fact that her cohort in crime, Rory Penland, sent a huge combination Valentine's, birthday, Christmas gift to her, which she will get in about a week and a half.
Well, that's to Renee Yaworski. That's to Renee Yaworski. That's
that's true. That's to Renee.
I don't benefit nothing from that. Anyways, Stephanie, we love you.
But I sent you a lab coat.
Yeah, that's true. I got a lab coat
and a NASA jacket.
Yeah, you're very nice. You're very nice. You're very nice, General. But you don't hold the candle.
I know what you like. You've got those NASA the stuff up on the wall. You've got the diplomas and the that's what you like.
I got lots of diplomas. That's the truth. All right, let's talk about Stephanie. All right, here we are. Stephanie, you're the woman of our lives. Everybody is responding so much to you, and I just wanted to give you that shout out. So thank you for being here because you're a big superstar and we love you.
Thank you very much. I'm really glad.
We do appreciate you being here to give us some insight.
Absolutely.
You make me feel very comfortable.
Oh, thank you. I'm just going to adopt you.
I'm an erotic mess, so that's good.
You might be over age 18. I don't really know. You look about 18, but even if you're over 18, I'm going to adopt you. I'm going to make you coffee. We're going to have a hot toddy. It's going to be amazing.
Do you like Syracuse?
Barbie.
Her name is Millie, by the way. Millie Hazzard.
Millie Hazzard. My parents lived in Hazzard.
She sounds like a Barbie, but she's a Millie.
See, we got a connection already with your parents and all that. It's fantastic. All right, back to the movie here because I want to see Stephanie in the movie. I'm waiting for the Stephanie stills.
Yes. Okay. So she is reading a book, we find out, and she's got a kind of a creepy vibe going around the apartment. There's the takeout you were talking about. She likes tea. She likes tea. She makes tea, and she likes Chinese takeout. And I got the book cover on the table. And then her boyfriend shows up. And this is Clayton Rohner playing Richard. And this is the guy in her life right now. And as Fat Bastard said in a movie, he's prettier than some of the girls I've shagged. I know I've seen him in something else famous before. I know I've seen him in something else before.
He's done a lot of things.
I can't put my finger on what it is though that I remember him from. But anyway, he's in this as we don't really I don't think we realize that he is a policeman at this point. He just comes in and he's got a trench coat on. But that can mean a lot of things.
It could mean a lot of things, yeah.
But so he's her beau. That much we do know.
Yes. And they've only been dating for 6 weeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
He's her new too.
But he's already getting serious. He's talking about taking her to see his parents.
I love you. Meet my parents at Christmas. All that scary stuff.
So
that's where the
and he's damn pretty. So okay, so we eventually get to the Ficky Waka. You know, I mean, it's bound to happen. With two people that look that good, it's bound to happen. So we do get to that. And all through this, there's a guy across the way playing piano. There's a guy downstairs who's like a composer, and he's playing piano.
Well, he works at the piano factory. It's the revision factory where they redo pianos. Okay. They tune them, redo them, fix them up. It's a piano place. So
he's quite the player, though.
He is. He's a complete maestro on that piano.
Hmm.
So why is he fixing pianos during the day? What's his story? We don't know. Could be in a sequel.
The sequel. This came out in 1989, folks.
I have a lot of hope.
the year that Michael Keaton put on the Batman suit for the first time. So
he was a good Batman. Speaking of Batman,
what's that?
He was a good Batman.
Oh, he's an awesome Batman.
I loved his Batman.
I went to the Flash movie just to see him back in the bat suit again, and as most of us did. And look who that is. There she is.
Look at there, constantly putting on lipstick.
Oh, I forgot to send you that picture. I didn't realize that was a picture of you. Okay, so yeah, she's looking in the mirror. This is Mona. She is the coworker of Virginia. They work at a bookstore, and that's where Virginia got this book by Malcolm Brand that she's been reading. And, Mona's kind of like, she takes Virginia under her wing kind of thing. They talk. And
she's an older, wiser, more experienced woman.
There you go. And it all alludes, every time they're in the bookstore, it alludes to, hey, there's something upstairs you need to do.
Yeah, every time.
Which we find out is that it's Malcolm Brand's estate sale stuff is upstairs in the bookstore. They're going to auction it off. So yeah, this is like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy of slasher films. Yeah. So it always just ties together so nice and neatly. So yeah, we get some sassiness from Mona with the customers and and dealing with Virginia.
A little bit sassy, but hey.
Did you have anything to do with your look at all, or was it totally prefabbed, right down to the earrings?
That they handed me everything.
Everything. They just did you up.
They just did me up.
And said, don't change it.
That's my actual hair.
Okay. You're actually a brunette. Very good.
It's my actual skull.
And he doesn't take it. He takes that from somebody else. And we'll talk about that after he does it. But yeah, so she goes upstairs. And we see the familiar trunk. That's the word I was looking for earlier. The trunk.
That's
holes in it. Yeah. Hey, do we have the demon upstairs? We saw this in the book story.
Yes, in the book story, but now she goes upstairs and she finds out that steamer truck's some Russell Brand stuff, right? Yes.
Not yet. She
Not
doesn't
yet?
know it's Russell Brand stuff. She doesn't get to that yet.
Oh.
But she does. She does. No. That comes to her door. She gets the other book she's looking for, which is called iMadMan. But that comes to her door. Actually, there's nothing really that we see her other than the fact that we know that that's the trunk from the story. We know that's the trunk. But other than that, and she sees him in a mirror, like one of those anti-theft mirrors upstairs.
She sees him going through the stacks.
Yeah, and then she looks around, both book thing, and there's nobody there.
How does that happen?
Hello?
Is anybody
Who is
there?
it? All right, now stop getting around, guys.
This isn't funny. Oh, my ankle, my boob fell out.
So yeah, she tells Mona that she wants to get that other book, iMadMan, because she's really into this book. She was telling her boyfriend about it, and then she goes to acting class. She has an acting class, and there's a friend of hers in that acting class, and he's into her, but she's not into him evidently. And he's got a nice little perm, and
that's right, he does have a perm.
Yes, he's got the Miami Vice look going. He's got the perm. And she goes home and she finds a package at her door, and it's the other book. So she assumes that it was Mona. Mona found it and sent it to her. All right, Madman. The covers are interesting. They are very noir and they're very interesting. So she starts to read this book. I guess she's finished the other one.
Which is interesting because there's what happened. We never find out what happened.
We never find out what happens in the second half of the first book.
No, we never do. And then she starts the other book, and that poor child has such a vivid imagination to start with. Then you throw in the hoodoo and the voodoo.
Somebody tells her that the demon hates the character. That's one clue that the demon may come back at the end of the movie. It's like a foreshadowing. So, and we do get the demon back again at the end of the movie. We'll get into that later. But and at first I thought because of the demon, which is animated, a la Ray Harryhausen kind of animation,
Yeah.
I thought this might be a Charles Band film from was it New Moon Enterprises?
Oh yeah. Oh my word. Yeah.
They do a lot of stuff with that, like Ginger Dead Man and Doll Man and
Dead Ginger Doll Man.
Yeah, and the Puppet Master series and stuff like that. So I thought this might be one of those, but no, this is Dukakis.
Dukakis.
So now she starts to read the book and she becomes the character in the book. Every time she changes into the old timey clothes, okay, she's in the book now. She's doing the thing in the book. And the doctor shows up and he shows his love. He says, "I love you so much, I cut my nose and my mouth off."
Yeah.
That's love.
Yeah, sure.
And we're having the reaction that her boyfriend does when she tells him about it.
Yeah.
So that's love. Really.
But he wants to get married after 6 weeks. So, okay.
Yeah. And he still wants her to meet his parents. So he shows up, takes her out of the book world. He shows up, but the tea kettle is still on the stove. So did I turn that on? We get one of those, one of those supernatural things, and the book is on the table, and he sees it and goes for it. Ooh, another one. Ooh. He's already making fun. And this is where she tells him they're in bed. They've just done the Ficky Waka. She's telling him about this book and how weird it is, and the guy cuts his nose and mouth off, and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
A great reaction. And he has a great line at the end of it, and I wish I could remember it now. He says something about cutting something off. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, why would he do that? Oh no, that was later. Somebody said, "Why would he do that?"
So he goes to bed. She rolls over. She can't sleep. She picks up the book, goes back into it.
The book is terrifying her and causing her deep hallucinations or perhaps some kind of psychic connection. She picks it right up.
So yeah, she sees the doctor. He's stalking a victim, and it's the actress from her acting class.
Oh yes, the red
with the red hair, and he knows that's the red hair he wants. He's become Buffalo Bob, Buffalo Bill, not Buffalo Bob. Howdy doody, Buffalo Bill. He's gonna scalp her and take her red hair.
And lo and behold, he does. And you know what's so sad is they had that character start getting in a movie the following week, fresh out of acting class into a major motion picture. But
she was going into a motion picture, and yeah, he took her hair.
Took her hair. Can't do a movie without your hair, especially if you're dead.
That beret. Anyway,
the scalping sounds the sounds in movies are what really gets to me. Sound and the sound, that ripping sound when he takes her hair.
Yeah, there's a movie where Malcolm McDowell plays H.G. Wells. He goes goes forward in time with Jack the Ripper, and there's a scene where Jack the Ripper is ripping up a girl as he's courting her in her living room or something, and you can just hear it, him ripping her up the. And he's telling her as he's doing it. Well, you see, I'm Jack the Ripper, but all you hear is that as he's ripping up her rib cage there. Yeah. She gets to her building. Anyway, that's a good example of that, is what I'm saying. So she gets to her building. She gets in, but he gets in the front door. He smashes through the window. He gets in the front door. She runs up to her apartment. A lot of tension as he's getting closer and closer. And then he pulls out a syringe. And he says, something to help you go to sleep, my dear. And he sticks her while she's trying to close the door on him. He's got his foot in the door. He's trying to close the door on him. And he's like a Fuller Brush man. He's got his foot in the door. and he sticks her
like this,
right through the glove. There you go.
She's like,
I'm just going to give you a little roofie to help you.
Then he actually says, I want you to count backwards from 100.
Yes, that's the creepy part. He's counting back from 100. As he's walking through her apartment, she's making her way back to the bathroom to lock him out, and he's counting backward. And you could see her getting drowsier and drowsier. So that was actually probably the most effective kill point in this movie.
I believe that is true.
Was him doing that? That was very creepy. So, and he's a doctor who wears a beret. So, okay, there he is. He stuck her. And again, she's moving back through the house, through the apartment. And she gets into the bathroom and locks him out. Doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
But he gets in somehow. I can't remember now. He gets through it somehow, and he comes in and he's over her, and she is really starting to get drowsy, and you see how she's about to go, and he scalps her. Yeah, lots of blood over the face, and she's reading, and oh my god, she's into the story, and then he pulls up the scalped red hair.
Oh god, yeah.
It puts the lotion on its skin and places it in the basket.
Or else it gets the hose again.
Isn't that right, Precious? So it's like, what's going on, honey? Nothing. Going to bed now. So the next day, she's at the bus stop, waiting for her bus. And she's waiting in line. She's the last person in line to get on the bus because everybody's pushed in front of her. And she turns around and he's there with the scalp, with the red hair. Now, here's something I've noticed. Here in the scene, the scalp looks pretty cool. It looks decent. The skin color's still good. And he's got a full head of red hair now. Do you like my hair? And she freaks. Like and then the bus driver's like, lady, you gonna get on this bus or what? But later in the film, the scalp starts to degrade.
Yes.
And you get less and less hair on the top of his head. And he starts to look more like, Larry Howard or Larry Fine from the Three Stooges. and you see the scalp is turning gray, like it's decaying. So this guy's supposed to be an expert in alchemy, and I thought he was going to get his face together, And anyway,
But
so
no,
that's the bus driver I was talking about.
That's the thing that gets me too, is when you start thinking about things. Like, I think about how things would smell.
I'm sure he smelled great by the end of the movie.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, he's already cut his own self up, so he's got
somebody's ears, got somebody's nose, got somebody's scalp.
That brother is reeking.
And
He's
Stephanie Hodge lips. Let's not go there right yet. So it's like Betty Davis eyes. Stephanie Hodge lips. All right. So after that scene, there we go.
Yeah.
Again, there's the bus driver again. She gets to the bookstore. And we get the cat scare. That's right.
Yeah.
I can't believe you went for the cat scare with the cat jumping in the scene. Anyway,
It's an homage to the classics.
is it okay? Is that
It's
what
an
he said when
homage
he
to
was making
Mr.
it?
Castle.
Did anybody question it? So you get to hold the cat in that scene. Was he a nice kitty?
He was a nice kitty. He was a trained kitty, so he was not a fun kitty, but he was.
Good. And you send her upstairs again to deal with that estate sale thing that's supposed to be dealt with.
I'm unpleasant about it too. I'm just a little unpleasant.
Well, you've had to tell her 2 times now. So she goes upstairs and she finds out. This is when she finds out it's the estate of Malcolm Brand, the writer of the 2 creepy books that she's been reading. And she's also found out from you that you didn't send the book to her. So she doesn't know who sent the book to her. The second one.
Right. This makes her think.
So then she sees a book of alchemy by him. And it's got a lot of creepy, weird pictures in it. And she's grossed out. And there it is. It's his estate sale. Those are his things.
Which is interesting because they must have been up there for quite a long time.
Mm.
Unless somebody hung on to the estate, which means he had his relatives somewhere.
Mm.
Or maybe not. Maybe probate. You never know. Why do I care? Why do I care?
So, a couple of nice shots of Mona there for us. That is some great hair. That is some great hair. That is some fun 80s hair right there.
A lot of teasing, spraying, and
How long were you in the makeup chair?
well, I had a perm, so
Okay.
not that long. They just kind of hosed me down and mushed it up.
All right. So she's walking on the street and she sees that actress from her class is has been slain, and the police are baffled by the mutilation. So she calls up her beau, Richard, because he's a police officer, and tells him about this. Oh, I'm having a hard time seeing what's there. Oh gosh.
What is that? Oh, that's under the causeway, isn't it? Do they ever go under causeway?
Again, I'm baffled. Okay, she's back home and he shows up.
There he is.
So she must be dreaming, because he's not real, right?
Right.
And okay, now she's in the full lipstick and the outfit from she's in the dream world again, and he's gonna go after the guy in the piano next door. He tells her, and she's like, oh, and he pulls his razor. He uses a straight razor, by the way, which is particularly nasty.
Yeah, that is, isn't it?
And we get the blood across the keyboard.
That's always so good. That's so classic.
when the guy gets his ears taken, this is the guy that loses his ears.
That is a ton of blood for ears too.
He's the head wounds.
Well, that's true. They are pretty bloody, aren't they?
If you ever bumped your head, so and he does the nice pull down the shade down slowly, so a little homage to Rear Window. And this is when we find out he's a detective because he shows up on the scene. That's what it is.
Yes, that's really, isn't that the first time we?
That's where we find. That's where we notice that Richard's a policeman. Clayton Roner. They do a good job of covering up the bodies in all of these scenes. We see quite a few of these. And he looks up, and he sees her looking out the window. Did you see everything? Yes, I did. And this is when it starts to get weird because she tells the police station, his boss, about the books. And she says, the guy's coming out of the books and he's killing people. Okay. All right. You guys go home now? And I'm going to talk to the detective here, Richard.
It's my office. Do you need a sandwich? Here's a sandwich and a cup of coffee, honey. You go home now.
So he says, wait for me downstairs. She goes down the elevator, and that's when the doctor shows up again, Dr. Kessler. And he gets her terrified, crouching down on the floor, and that's when a police officer down at the bottom floor says, are you okay? Can I get you something? And so she's sitting down and she's freaking out, and she decides, hey, I'll do some reading. She goes right back into the book. But actually, she finds out the publishing company by looking at the front page of the book. That's what it is. And she finds a publishing company, which is Z Publishing, which does like smut books and stuff.
Yeah.
And they picked up this guy's work. So she's walking through, the nice side of town to find Z books.
And she's just walking, looking and walking.
Live nude.
Very comfortable in her environment.
And
hardcore LA girl.
Central casting. We need a slimy, sleazy book producer. And this guy kind of gives her some background on Malcolm Brand, who was a real whack job. He was a nut, that guy. Sold a lot of books, but he was a nut.
What does he tell him happened to him? He died or something, right? He's in an institution.
Yeah, I think he said he went into an institution, I believe. I don't think he said he died. He said he disappeared or something, but I don't think he said he died.
Disappeared. But he does confirm that he cut his nose and mouth and ears and stuff.
Oh, okay. How did I miss that? All right.
He said, did he really? And he went, oh yeah, it was terrible.
It was bad. Everything was bad. This guy.
He's messed up, man.
Yeah. So she thinks that the next death is going to happen at the library.
Yes, because
based on what's in the books. Oh no. She's I'm sorry. She thinks he's going to attack. He's going to attack somebody with like a Roman nose. He's going to go for a nose. And she goes to the place where the actress came out of, the bar or whatever that the actress came out of. And she's not there. He shows up, the guy from her acting class. And of course, we as the audience immediately go, oh, it's going to be him. She doesn't get it, though.
No, the minute she says hello, he's a dead man. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. When he shows up, we just go, oh, okay. Roman nose. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we know. He's the next guy. So he's like, hey, you want to get a pizza or something? And she's like, nah. So he walks off, and the minute he walks off, she's like, wait a minute. And that's when the doctor runs across the street after the guy. And then she runs after him, and sure enough, yeah, he takes the guy's nose and kills him.
Yeah.
And there's the second sheet.
It's amazing though. Does he? I don't remember if he slits his throat or something along with it, or if just taking his nose kills him.
No, I think he slits his throat too. But we just don't see it that well.
Because if chopping somebody's
because
nose off,
it would take a while for you to die of shock, from just losing your nose. I think
a week.
I mean, I'm not going to say it won't happen, but yeah, I think he slits him across the throat. We just don't see it that well.
Oh, good. Okay. I must have.
Which is a surprise because, that's what this movie's all about, but there it is. Bad lighting.
Very bad lighting.
So she's like, no, and he does it. And then, the police show up. They segue to the police, and the police show up, and it's the captain. And when he sees her at the scene, there's a great reaction shot.
There.
Oh God, it's the knucklehead. The knucklehead who thinks the guy's coming out of the book. So Richard is starting to believe her now because she's predicting these things pretty good. And so he's like, what's next? What's going to happen next? It's kind of crazy and kind of silly, but what do you think is going to happen next? And she goes, I think the death is going to happen at the library, she says, because there's cats. Now, we saw a scene with you and a cat in the bookstore. So we as the audience already know it's not going to be at the library.
No, it's going to be at the bookstore and I'm going to die.
So he calls her and says, what time are you going to be at the library? What time do you think this is going to go down? Blah, 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 blah. She's talking on the phone and you are absolutely pissed now. You can tell you are about at your last straw.
You just go flouncing around while I do all the work. And
you still haven't done the estate sale thing. So I'll do it. It's okay. I'll do it.
It's fine.
You go ahead. You go have fun with the murder.
It's fine. I'm fine.
And that's not going to be the last time we see you, but let's just say it's the last time we see you. And this is a great scene. They've got the wire and everything on the librarian. They're going to send her out there, and then she faints. She passes out.
That's great. I love that. And she
It's like,
so
oops,
well.
she can't do it. So they dress up Virginia. They dress up Virginia as the librarian. And what's funny is every scene where they're watching her and listening to her, that librarian is wide awake over the guy's shoulder, like, wow, what's she doing now?
Right, I know.
Bitch.
That she's just
You
scared.
bitch. You made me come out here as the bait and you're sitting there watching?
They should have sent her home in shame.
So, yeah. See, there she is right over his shoulder.
Just looking. Ooh.
What's happening now? You bitch. And of course, she's heard all kinds of creepy noises and stuff, and it turns out to be the janitor.
And that's the expression on his face when he comes to the room. It's kind of almost like he's expecting it.
You ain't gonna put your knee on my neck now, are you? Go. So he's like, okay, that didn't go well. So why don't you go home? Don't read the book. And of course she does. So she realizes when she's reading a book, oh my God, it's the bookstore. So she calls up and this guy, this chucklehead, I'm guessing that's Sergeant Navarro.
Yeah.
Played by Vance Valencia. There's a nice screen name if I ever heard one. Vance Valencia playing Sergeant Navarro. He says, yeah, don't bother Richard, okay, with this stuff anymore. The chief's already chewed him out a couple of times. Yeah. So, but there is a pink note, a post-it note, pink note slip on his desk that says that's the bookstore. That's
right. I forgot.
So, yeah, so she gets out of the taxi cab. She's all by herself. Well, Richard's coming. I just left a message. She pays the cab, gets inside the bookstore. She finds a cat licking up a big, huge pool of blood.
And then she says, Mona. And I don't say anything because I'm dead.
And there it is. That's the death reveal right there. Beautiful shot. Now, how long did it take them to put that on you?
Well, first, I went back to Randall Cook's special effects place,
Uh-huh.
and they made a whole cast of my head.
Yeah.
And then from there, they built this frontal piece.
Right.
And it just sort of, it was like a mask.
Mm-hmm.
And it took probably half hour.
Oh, wow. That's fast.
It was really fast. It was,
wow.
It was comfortable. I fell asleep while we were doing that scene.
While we're putting you on. Oh, when you were, okay, lie down on the floor.
Well, first I had to do it with the cat doing a few things. And when you're working with a cat, you have to, it's going to take a while. Because even a trained cat.
He's putting his butt in your face, Nice kitty.
Yeah, they had the cat trying to lick my face and pull on the skin and stuff. That wasn't very collaborative.
Did they actually have the trainer tell the cat, okay, go go for the mouth, go for the skin.
Go get her. They put those cat food down here,
Oh, I love
I'm
that.
just laying there.
See, now that is why we have people like you on to tell us what happened while you were there. That's a great story.
And it was great because it was raining that whole day we shot that.
Yeah.
Rained. We took all day took all day to make all these different choices and decisions, which was really fun to have the time to do that because usually there's no time.
Yeah.
So I just got to lay there and listen to the rain and play with the cat. It was
funny.
Not a lot
Very
of
cool.
eating or drinking, but that was cool. That was fine.
All right. So Mona's gone. She's down for the count. And he shows up with Stephanie Hodge lips. And you can see those are your lips,
He gave me a kiss on the cheek with those lips.
Oh, funny.
It was so gross.
Oh, so you were there for part of this?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Not by invitation. I just wanted to watch.
Well, and who wouldn't?
Really?
That's the fun part of the movie is when they're chasing the girl around. Come on.
Yeah. That's the best part.
So now you can see, the scalp now is kind of deteriorated somewhat. The nose doesn't look so good either anymore.
He's got the ears on the wrong side of the head. I swear he's got the ears on the wrong sides.
But the Stephanie Hodge lips look great. Look at that.
Fresh and plump.
I like he's kind of twisted his mouth over to the side there a little bit. Give me a kiss.
That's so weird to see your lips on somebody else's face.
And again, they took the cast of your face, so obviously they molded that to look like your lips. I mean, it looks like your lips.
Yep, those are my lips.
That's really funny. He's got Stephanie Hodge lips. So she tries to escape. I guess she forgot about the outdoor gate that they, like security gate that they put on there. So she's trapped. So she has to go another way, and he's chasing her still, He's taking his time, terrorizing, and he grabs her through a bookcase.
Oh, that's always a good scare. I love that scare.
Yeah, we kind of see it coming, but
yeah,
but there it is. And now here's the weirdest part of this scene. Well, okay, maybe not the weirdest, but here's a weird part to the scene is she's probably gone up and down this staircase 100,000 times. And I know she's scared because she's running from a guy, but this huge avalanche of books comes down.
Yeah.
And she's falling down, sliding down the staircase with the books. And they do a little homage to Nosferatu there with his shadow on the wall. And it even looks kind of like, Max Shrek. And again, nice creepy, him coming out of the darkness into the light a little bit. And she's watching him. And it's not looking good for her at this point.
No. She's made some poor choices.
I can't get over those Stephanie Hodge lips. So he's got his own gnarly eyebrows. He's got some funky kind of contact lenses in. He's got a deteriorating scalp, funky nose, Stephanie Hodge lips, scars here and there all over the place. That's a creepy monster. Except for the Stephanie Hodge lips, which looks nice.
It really is just the whole concept of that, doing that. And, ooh, it's very creepy.
Yeah. So Richard shows up. He must have gotten that pink note on his death. And he shoots the guy several times. You know, not realizing it could be a ghost and he's going to be shooting Virginia. But anyway.
Technicalities.
She's happy to see him. And she's, you know, oh my God, Richard, you saved me. But of course, you know, you can't keep a good man down. So the doctor rises again, and now he's looking kind of like Robert De Niro in Frankenstein.
He does.
I'm telling you right now, I'm going to kill her. You know, I'm going to get her out. I'm going to get her heart. It's going to be mine.
I hadn't thought of that, but he really does.
Yeah. Again, a lot of that stuff was going on at the same time. There's a lot of imagery here. So he attacks Richard. And he gets Richard down for the count. And he's slashing Richard's hands and stuff with his straight razor. And that's the last shot was his gun sliding across the floor right under the bookcase. That's what it is. I was trying to figure out what the hell that was. It's his gun sliding under the bookcase. And she keeps going and reaching for it, and she just can't quite get it. So yeah, he's in Richard's face. Yep, the gun's not there.
Nope.
And he's strangling Richard. Gun's not there either. And then she sees the book, the first book cover with the demon, and the case. She opens the case, and he's about to kill Richard when the demon pops out. And we get the again, the animated demon. And you can see that the doctor is not, he's kind of scared of the demon. He doesn't like the demon.
Yeah.
So the demon comes after him, chases it, just rolling around on the floor with him and biting him. And the demon doesn't like him. He keeps him in a suitcase. Keeps him in a trunk. He's staying there with my own feces.
Sorry.
So the demon evidently puts him down, and he looks over at our hero and our heroine. And then the doctor gets up again. And the demon and him struggle again. And he pushes the demon through a window, I think.
Yes.
Yes, he pushes him through a window. And the top of the window, which is broken, comes down and slices the demon in half.
A perfect slice.
Perfect slice right through the midsection. It's a perfect guillotine.
And then
what does Manny say here? Can you read that, Hazzard?
Yeah, he said the lesson here is don't keep your demons in a trunk. Let them out once in a while for some air and a poop.
That's right. Walk them 3 times a day. Come on.
If your demons don't poop, oh my God.
Give them some kibble. I mean, come on. So he's going to attack them again, and the demon's roaring. And he turns around, and the demon is now walking around without its bottom half.
Well, it's a demon,
Again, it's at this point we're like, okay, it's an hour and 29 minutes, folks. How are we going to end this damn thing? So the demon comes after him with his arms, walking on his arms, leaving his torso behind, so to speak. Which also, after this movie ends, it's like, oh, did they find the demon torso, the legs?
Yeah. Where did he go?
They never. So he pushes, the demon jumps at him. They crash through the window out into the light as book pages.
Yeah.
What
Yeah, they
do? They fly out the window as book pages.
Yeah.
That's the ending, folks.
It's the ending that leaves it open for that
They
sequel.
watch as the book pages that were the doctor and the demon fly away. What the?
Yeah. What was that? Excuse me? What?
Again, you had me until that last scene. See, I told you I wasn't lying. It's the end. There's nothing else. They don't have the cops show up and put a blanket or a sheet over the demon legs. I snapped that just for you, Stephanie. It says co-starring Stephen Hamel, I guess, and Stephanie Hodge. So I'm out of peach tea. Damn it.
It's a fun movie to watch. It is fun.
It is. Actually, again, I'm surprised it didn't do better than it did. But again, it was up against Batman, for crying out loud. So
yeah.
I remember the fervor and the excitement that was Batman, the Tim Burton Batman film, when it first came out. I mean, it went on for like 6 months in the theaters, I think.
It was everything.
And anything else was like, nah, we're going to watch Batman again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, if you can find it on the internet or on a channel somewhere, iMadMan, it is a fun watch.
It's on Tubi.
It's silly. It's a silly, kooky movie, but it's fun to watch. It's a fun.
And get your popcorn. It's a popcorn movie. It's a popcorn in your pajamas movie. Yes.
Yes. So I just happen to have some next to me here.
You know what? I still have the vest with the studs in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you know how much you could probably get on eBay for that? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well.
So that's sentimental. That's sentimental. That's something that's special.
And it's got little splooches of blood on it from my.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. And a few cat licks. You should put that up in a case. You should put that on your wall.
I should do that.
See if you can get yourself a poster from iMadMan and just wrap that all up there. And loan it to some, comic book store or something for a couple of months. You
can give it to the comic book guy up there.
Take it to conventions when you're signing autographs and stuff, put it behind you.
That would be fun.
Or wear it.
I have a couple of times. There's something on your vest. Yeah, that's blood. I was killed in this vest.
I was killed in this vest. You should put that on the back. You should have that sewn on the back. I was killed in this vest. A cat licked me.
My daughter wore it when she was in high school once.
Oh.
Just once.
Did she tell him it was in a movie? Her friend?
She's not really impressed with what I do.
Again, no matter what you do, you're uncool when they're in their teens.
Yeah, thank God she's not a teenager anymore. She's a grown ass woman now. It's much more fun.
Okay. Well, again, once you get past the teen years, then you can become cool again. They go, okay. I realized I was kind of a dick when I was a teen. I'm sorry. They come around.
Well, I was kind of a jerk when she was a teen too, because she was a teen.
Yeah, that
only lasted for a couple of weeks. She was a very good child. Mm. She was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I always say God always gives you what you need. He has no faith in my parenting skills at all, so that's why I got this kid.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that and for sharing this movie with us, this training film, as we like to call them, and telling us a little bit about what happened behind the scenes. The cat story was great, especially. And tell us a little bit about David Duchovny, which we will have to repeat when we bring you back for Evolution a little later down the line. Just a wonderful time, as I expected.
Thank you so much. I love this.
Like Hazzard says, you're a great person, and we know it, and we love having you around. So,
thank you.
So, all right, cadets, thank you.
I love you guys. Thank you
for joining us for another episode of this this crazy big monster briefing room. And again, keep an eye out for those big monsters. Oh, I almost didn't say it. Dr. Kessler, a face that only a mother could love. That's my catch. That's been my catchphrase. Like, it's not special. That's a face that only a mother can love. That's what I tell you about the villains, the monsters that we do on the show here. So, all right. Keep an eye out for those big monsters, folks.